Harry, because the new code has changed and you've dropped from 10 skills to 8 skills, I'm sure the structure of your routines has changed a little bit. But are you going to be performing any new elements this year in 2025?
In 2025, yeah, I will be at some point. There won't be too much change on floor. I'll be doing the similar skills, just constructed a bit differently. Rings, I'm trying to work the bigger strength. It's not quite there yet, but vault, I want to try push for the handspring triple twist at some point. So I'm sort of debating on doing it here. I'll warm up in the back gym, see how it is, and if it's all right and safe, I'll maybe do it in the finals. But yeah, that's about it.
I've seen you training those 2 vaults, Harry, the pike drag Alesko and handspring triple twist. Which vault are you going to try to perform and compete first? And when do you imagine, like, in your head, where would you hope to be able to start doing both of those? Midway through the cycle or already this year, potentially?
Yeah, so I find the handspring triple twist a lot easier. I find the pike drag it's up and down sometimes, so I think I'd definitely go with the triple twist first. But to get them both out, yeah, I'd say hopefully maybe by the end of the year I can do them both consistently, and then maybe compete them next year or midway through the cycle. But there's no real rush, as long as I can get them done at some point. So
now you've started doing those vaults, Harry, have you changed anything in like your physical prep? Like is there almost, have you discovered a new level to vaulting almost, and you're like, well, I'm going to need to do a little bit more in terms of my S&C work or anything like that?
S&C, I just stick with what I've been doing because it just helps my back and core. I just stick with that. But then I also do, say on a normal gym day, I'll do vaults in the afternoon, big vaults to actual landing. Then I'll come back in the evening and do loads of preps. And I think doing 2 vault sessions almost in a day is really helping just to get the technique down.
What are the big advantages, Harry, to doing 8 skills instead of 10? Because there'll be a lot of junior athletes that have maybe come up to senior, they've always done 8, so they don't know any difference. But for you, it must feel great being able to do a routine with 2 less skills, because the routines that you do anyway are such high level. Is it that you've got a lot more endurance? Is it just easier? Can you do bigger skills? Is it mentally less draining?
Yeah, I'd say it's mentally less draining. It's not too bad on the fitness. And you know when you come into the gym and you're feeling, oh, I just cannot be bothered saying you've still got 10 skills to do per piece. Whereas now I know I can get through a routine pretty much whenever. My fitness it's a lot easier to build, especially on floor with the 8 skills. So yeah, it'd be a bit easier, but with the high level of skills that you're doing, it'll still be a bit hard.
Is it fun? Are you enjoying like now going, wow, I could really do some big gymnastics here in this side? Because that suits your gymnastic style, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm definitely enjoying that. For floor, there's a lot of things I can do in my routine. So for the future, I'll definitely be pushing some even bigger skills. And rings, you can do bigger strength without it taking as much of a toll on your body, because it's just a shorter routine really. And dismount should be a little bit easier. Although I'm struggling with my dismount at the minute, but yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's going to make apparatus finals probably quite exciting in that the top gymnast, are going to have so many skills to choose from that you're maybe going to have to be a little bit more tactical about which routine you're picking or what skills you're going to put in which routine depending on who you're competing against.
Yeah, I think especially in the finals it's going to be a lot down to the execution and the landings for floor, which under the high pressure you're going to be jittering a bit. So it'll be fun to watch, I think. It'd be definitely better this code for the viewers at home.
Amazing, mate. Thank you very much, Harry.
Thank you.
Enjoy the weekend, mate.
Will do.
Jamie, it's the start of the brand new Olympic cycle and we've dropped from 10 skills to 8 skills. How do you think this new code suits your style of gymnastics?
Well, I see how, going from 10, I spent a good couple of years trying to do the 10 skills, and it's such a big difference from 8, from going from junior. So, yeah, dropping back to 8 is it's kind of nice, because then we can show off a bit more of our gymnastics and execution, and go out there and show the artistry in our sport. And I think it's really amazing.
And you've got off to a great start, mate. The start of this brand new Olympic cycle, LA 2028, is obviously a very long way away, but you perform really well at the English Championships, which is amazing to see. What have you done between the English and then the British in terms of your preparation? Has there been anything that you've focused on in particular?
Really just staying focused on what I did for the English, really. Coming back from a wrist injury, year off, and then just going into the English, just keeping fit and just focusing on what I can do, because I've missed the sport so much from having the year out. So yeah, so just for the British, it's just the same sort of thing. just a little room for improvement, sharpen the axe, and then just do what I do, and deliver.
Brilliant, mate. And then what routines, Jamie, or maybe skills are you like excited to compete this weekend? Because we're in this amazing arena, and every time I come back, I feel like I didn't appreciate it at the time when I was competing. Are there some skills or routines this weekend you're excited to compete?
Absolutely. I think everything in general, really, because each apparatus really has its own sort of just amazing feel to it. That's the thing about this sport. 6 different apparatus, 6 feelings, and yeah, just everything in general. I can go through it, all the apparatuses, but I think individually they just all bring something different. So just my whole routines as a general thing, and just giving it my all so I can get the whole experience out of it. So yeah.
Is it exciting, Jamie, as a pommel horse worker, and I know you're a very good all-rounder, but someone that's excelled on pommel horse for a long time, is it exciting to be starting an Olympic cycle where, you know, Max is now officially retired and walked away from the sport, so that spot has kind of opened up for the likes of yourself, maybe Josh, Nathan, who have had success on pommel, are brilliant pommel horse workers, kind of step into that a little bit. Does that make it quite exciting? I guess it opens up the field a little bit, right?
Absolutely. I mean, what Max has done for this sport and our country, those are big shoes to fill in. So, you know, it's just such a great inspiration for us to just, you know, for him to lead the way and us to, you know, follow as much authentically to ourselves that we can for this sport. And yes, it's definitely given us big inspiration for what we can do for the sport. And yeah, it's great to have that motivation in front of us. And yeah, it's definitely opened the doors for all of us, and just believe that we can do something great like he has done for the sport as well.
Amazing, mate. Jamie, all the best with this weekend, mate. Enjoy it. Make sure you enjoy the experience, and I'm excited to watch your gymnastics.
Thank you very much, Sam. Appreciate it.
Jonas, how are you approaching your gymnastics this year, and do you see this, I guess the first year in a new Olympic cycle, as a big opportunity?
Yeah, I see it as a big opportunity. I think I have to take it and ride with it. I think I need to use, you know, it's my first year as a senior gymnast, so I need to use that to my advantage, as I've got a lot of space. I've got a lot of, you know, opportunity. There's still time to improve, so I'm putting more difficulty out there, but still giving it a shot, trying to hit each target, maybe aim for Euros qualifications, you know, Worlds this year, but that's it for the LA cycling this year, yeah.
What did you learn, Jonas, from Harry and Luke's success, and how quickly they transitioned from junior to senior, and then already had that World Championship, European Championship, and Olympic success so quick? What did you learn from watching that process?
Using every opportunity to their to the max, you know, they used every opportunity possible. I remember it's like, you've got a World Cup, and they went to that World Cup and they smashed that opportunity. So I think that's what I've learned, taking every opportunity and just giving it your all. You know, you've got, especially going from the junior to senior, you give it everything you can. Yeah.
Amazing, mate. Can you take us through, like, preparing the Luke in as a skill, and what it's been like putting that into your routine, and what's it feel like performing a skill like that in an arena like this?
I mean, it's exciting. I like the excitement. It's good excitement. It's good nerves. But learning it, preparing it, it's been quite a quick turnaround. I mean, I think I competed straight catcher first time at the end of last year in like October, November, and then I found luking quite easy, to be fair, but I do enjoy it and I like the thrill. It's a bit nerve-wracking, but yeah, that's it. So we come around, I really put a lot of time and effort into it and to upgrade my high bar, so I'm excited to compete it, yeah.
Which are the routines and the apparatus that you're really excited to perform this weekend, Jonas, and you would say are like your big apparatus?
I've been working my P-bar and high bar, so I'm excited to perform them. I'm starting on them both, so starting P-bar, going high bar, so that'll be a challenge, but yeah, them 2 pieces, and hopefully have a nice clean pommel and a couple other apparatus with a few new skills, a few new upgrades, so yeah.
And when you do a big weekend like this, Jonas, where you're competing on a Saturday and potentially doing apparatus finals on the Sunday, is that something that you think about in your preparation, or actually do you just go, this is a new experience, we'll compete the all-round and we'll just see how we feel on that Sunday?
I guess you can't really prepare them as best you can, though, can you? So I guess we'd be just you do 6 apparatus and 6 apparatus the next day, don't you, in training? But yeah, you just see how the all-round goes, and I guess it is just smash the finals, you know. You prepare for the best you can, you know, try maybe putting new skills if you've got new skills, but yeah, that's how I'd prepare for the final, yeah, just go for it on the day, remember, yeah, go big on the final.
Amazing, mate. Jonas, good luck, mate, this weekend.
Thank you very
man.
much.
I'm excited to watch your gymnastics.
Thank you.
Top man, mate. Thank
Thank you very much.
Okay, Courtney, it's a fresh Olympic cycle, and you're now a dad. How has that changed the dynamic of your gymnastics training and maybe your approach to your gymnastics as we get into this new Olympic cycle?
Yeah, so my little girl Tulloch was born last year, and when she arrived, it was just about when I could get in the gym, just getting it done early, doing what I needed to do, my strength training, keeping fit, and then heading straight home, being there to support my partner. And like I was speaking to you earlier, like at first, because it's all new, you're buzzing, you're not getting any sleep, but it's okay, you're dealing with it. But now it's comp year, comps are coming in, training's getting more serious, comps getting more serious. It's hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's tough. But my partner has been incredible. Whenever I need a bit more sleep or to go in the spare room, or she's just been incredible, mad supportive. And then Ant and Scott, my coaches, they see it in my face. They know if I'm walking in the gym and it's just been a rough night, they'll tailor my training, make it a little bit easier for me. But ultimately, it's just about getting me ready for the competitions and getting prepared. And they've done an incredible job. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling healthy. I've competed 2 times already this year. I'm super happy with how my rings have gone. So hopefully I can do the same here. But all in all, just buzzing. It's made me realise what's really important in life, what I want to get out of life and being a dad. And I hope it's made me a better person and a better gymnast. So moving forwards, I'm just super excited.
How do you think this new code suits your style of gymnastics, Courtney, right? Because a lot of it is about big skills, big gymnastics. You do big vaults, you're doing a triple back on rings. Do you like the new code? Is it fun to train on 8 skills again instead of 10?
I've not really told anyone this, but I think because of the new code and the changes, that's why I carried on gymnastics. It helps me massively. The changes, certain skills I was doing, they've gone up in value. The triple back that I'm able to do is a massive boost on the rings for the start value. So because of that, I just thought I had to stay in the sport and give it a go. I thought like it would be silly for me not to try. So it suits me massively, and I'm just grateful. So thank you, FIG gods, looking after me in that department. So yeah, I appreciate that.
Amazing, mate. Can you just take us through a little bit the process of preparing that triple back, Courtney? What does that process look like, and how difficult is it to perform that skill on its own but then add it into a full routine?
So a lot of it was into pit, just getting the numbers, making sure I'm coming off the rings right at the right angle. That was a big thing. And then also not cowboying a lot, because you can do a triple back and then you'll lose 3-3-3 for each somersault for cowboying. So it was making sure my knees are quite close together. So just loads of numbers doing that, getting comfortable with that. And then it was just slowly building the mats in. And Scott and I did a fantastic job, and making sure I felt confident and comfortable doing the dismount. And then, it's sticking it on hard is another ball game. You can go into pit and do mats in the pit, you can be confident, but as soon as you get out on hard, it can be a completely different story. But I'm quite comfortable somersaulting. It's the twisting where I've tended to struggle. So with the double somersaults, it's sort of we kind of wish I did it earlier, to be honest, because it does suit me and I feel I feel comfortable doing it. And then it was building half routines. Now, because of the changes, 8 skills as well, it's easier for me. I feel a lot more fresher at the end of a routine. So that helps with the triple back as well.
Have you noticed anything, Courtney, last question, you're seeing a lot of great gymnastics around you, there's loads of young guys coming through. What are the big things that you're noticing about this new code and how it's impacting the type of gymnastics that everybody's doing?
I think because it's still so early on, it's hard to gauge what way people are doing things and how people are going to do it. But for me, I think a lot of people, the big dismounts is I think you get double, so it's huge. It'll boost the start value. But I think another thing that's going to be important is how clean you are in the routine. I think people are going to be chucking these big skills in the routine, but maybe judges are going to be caning. So I think it's still early on, so it's hard to say, but for me, I think it's about being clean as you can on the apparatus and then having a big dismount, even taking maybe a skill out so you can do the big dismount and land it. I think that's going to be more beneficial than doing loads more in the routine and doing a safer dismount to land. But that's how I think it's going to go, but we'll see what all the young guys and what everyone's doing here, and then Europeans and the worlds.
Yeah, amazing, mate. That's really interesting. You're giving some great insights there. And what you said there about maybe doing slightly easier skills within the routine, but focusing on that dismount. Yeah, it's going to be great to see how that plays out. But good luck this weekend, mate.
Cheers.
Enjoy it. I'm really excited to see your gymnastics.
Cheers, Sam. Thank you.
Luke, as we head into the new Olympic cycle, is your focus this year? I know you're struggling with a bit of a heel injury at the moment, but is it on the all-around?
Yeah, it is on the all-around. I don't want to just be known as the floor worker. Really focusing on this new code, especially high bar with the dismounts. As you know, all the new code, you get big bucks for the dismounts. So yeah, all around something that I'm definitely going to be focusing on.
And what is it like, Luke, preparing, let's say, the triple pike on high bar is a massive skill. What's it like doing that as an individual skill and then trying to get it into your routine? Is that a challenge?
Yeah, it's so much different. I mean, at the end of a routine, your forearms are tight, your hands are gripping on the bar. So to be able to relax and kick off the bar properly, it's so much different. So you've really got to build up to be able to do that dismount, especially at the end of a routine.
And has that been a different experience for you, Luke? Because you obviously perform a triple back on floor, right? And I know that you do perform a triple back on rings as well, but would you say having to do that big of a skill at the end of a routine is a completely different approach in terms of building that fitness up?
Definitely on bar. Rings you can really use a swing, but on high bar, yeah, especially doing it piked as well. I don't like doing it tuck off high bar, so I went straight to triple pike. But yeah, it's totally different at the end. On floor, I do my triple back at the start, so I'm fresh for that. Whereas on high bar, yeah, you're not as fresh.
And when you let go and you're doing a triple pike, just for people that are listening that have never experienced that, Luke, or when you're in the air, does it feel like you're just holding on, or you're pulling in tighter? And how hard is it to time opening out to land it? Because that strikes me as quite a difficult thing to be able to do, to know where the floor is. You're not just going up and down like a triple back on floor, right? You're going forwards as well.
Yeah, so definitely on high bar, there's some goes that I'm grabbing on for dear life, and there's other goes where it feels really nice. But I think it's just the number of repetitions you do, learning when to open out at the right time. Similar to floor and rings, really. Like you can't really see anything, it's just by feel. So the more you do, the more comfortable you'll get with kicking out and landing the skill.
Are there any routines that you're looking forward to competing this weekend, Luke, in particular? And are you doing any new elements that maybe people might not have seen before in your routines?
Yeah, on rings, I'm quite I've got 2 new strength elements, so I'm really looking forward to that. It gets me both the full difficulty on the score-wise. So yeah, really looking forward to doing them. Other than that, there's nothing really new. I'm not doing my big dismount on high bar, obviously because of my heel, but yeah, definitely in the future.
How are you going to use the experience that you've obviously gained over the last couple of years, Luke, as we go into this cycle, right? Like, you know, you came into the senior team halfway through a cycle, and this is a new experience. You're going to have a whole 4 years. What's kind of like your mindset and your approach, I guess, when you think about the next 4 years and how that might play out?
Yeah, I think, especially after the Olympics, I definitely learned to really just enjoy the journey, not just focus on the end result. So this time, just taking it step by step, competition by competition, and not really looking too far ahead into the future, really.
Amazing. Luke, enjoy this weekend, mate. I'm excited to watch your gymnastics, and thanks for chatting to us, mate. Okay, Jake, this code on the surface seems like it's built for someone with your style of gymnastics. Has it been fun building the new routines, and how have you found dropping from 10 skills to 8 skills?
In terms of dropping from 10 skills to 8 skills, it still feels like I'm doing 10 skills. Because you kind of have to, with 8 skills, you know, it brings the competition closer together, so you kind of have to pack out the difficulty in those routines, which is why it feels the same. In terms of like building the routines to fit this new code, I've kind of enjoyed it. To be honest, it's not really, I'm not doing routines that are too much different. Like my floor, for example, is pretty much the same as it has been for the last 4 years. I've just taken out a tumble and added one that I used to do anyway. And then even the same for pummels. Like I've just taken a skill out, or I've taken 2 skills out and replaced them with skills that I used to do. So it's weird. I think maybe for something like P bars, for me, P bars, high bar, will be a bit more of an interesting one because I haven't properly started back. I'm competing P-bars, I haven't started proper high bar yet, and I want to obviously build a better P-bar routine, so it'll be interesting to see what those routines will be like.
As you approach this new cycle, Jake, have you got plans to focus on all around again as we go into the cycle? You know, you're now consistently competing at the highest level in all around finals. Have you got personal goals of trying to challenge for podium places in the all around?
Yeah, I definitely want to push it all round even more than I have. With that said though, this year I'm definitely taking it easy in terms of doing 6 apparatus. The reason being I want to, if I take 2 apparatus, so currently I'm not doing rings and high bar, it kind of gives me a bit more room and energy to focus on working on my strength and conditioning, because that's been something that I've struggled to balance with all round. So, you know, it feels like when I do all round, it kind of takes away from the strength conditioning aspect of my training. Whereas I'm hoping with this new approach, I can definitely this year take, you know, I just do 4 pieces, get stronger hopefully, and then obviously go into next year with the aim of doing all round at major competitions and doing better than I did this last cycle.
Now you're a multiple Olympian, Jake, and you know you're talking there about focusing on the body preparation and the strength a little bit more this year, not doing 6 pieces, being a bit more tactical. Have you almost looked at this cycle and started at LA and then reverse engineered how you're going to get there and make sure you're in the best possible shape for that in 4 years' time? Sounds like maybe with you and your coach as a team, you're really looking strategically of how is the best way to maximize the potential in 4 years' time.
Yeah, I'd say that's definitely the case. Especially now that I'm not old. I'm 23, but this cycle is going to be like, I'm going to have to kind of play it by ear almost. I don't know what my body's going to be like in 3 years' time when I'm 26. So I could be, you know, my peak performance could start to dip a little bit as I get a little bit older. So I feel like it's something I'll have to kind of play by ear. But in terms of, like, especially with this year, taking the time to kind of pull back a little bit from the intense all-round competitions and training is definitely a smart move in terms of making sure that, you know, as I get older, my body is already in a good position because I've got the strength, I've got the conditioning, and like all my joints are healthy, so that hopefully it makes my chances of being injured a lot less likely. Yeah. I mean, fingers crossed.
Yeah, amazing, mate. Last question, Jake. You are a bit more experienced now, right? You've been to multiple Olympic Games. Like you said, you're in your mid-20s. What's exciting you about that next generation that are coming through? Because I know that there are a few very good gymnasts, in particular from your gym.
Yeah. And
when you're watching the gymnastics that they're doing, is it exciting?
It is definitely exciting. It's almost like I used to hear people say like, oh, my coach, for example, when I was really young, he'd be like, oh, you know, keep the training up. You're making the senior gymnast worried. And I kind of understand that now, because like I see Uzair from my club, for example, and seeing how well he does all round, I'm like, oh wow, like he's gonna be like challenging to make teams in the near future. And you know, the age that he is as well, and the skill level that he's at, he's years ahead of the level that he's at now, like the age that he's at now. So it's like in my head, I'm like, in what, 2-3 years time, like, where's he gonna be? It's good though, because it means that the sport in this country is going in the right direction. You know, to know that we've got juniors that are like still happy, they're happy to do the sport. You know, they're passionate and they're also challenging our seniors. It's a healthy environment.
Just one more question, mate, to finish off, because you're wearing it right now. How's that process been of creating the clothing brand that you've had, and what's it been like? How have people taken to it? You know, James was very generous and gave me a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and like I train it and I really love it. And like I just said, we were just in Dublin and we've seen 2 of the gymnasts there in Ireland line up to start their session wearing the tracksuit that you guys have produced. That must be an amazing feeling.
Yeah, it's definitely, it is cool. I mean, what we're trying, like what we're wanting to do is, you know, create a, I guess like a community that of, you know, people with like ambitions, goals, and, you know, something where everyone can, you know, thrive off each other's journeys. The hardest part is balancing it with training, and you know, like, so I was actually like a few months before the Olympics, I was trying to go through the process of like, oh, I need to stay involved with, you know, helping start out, because we had our launch in September, and obviously I was at the Olympics, and it was a bit hard to manage, and, you know, I had to step away for a little bit to, you know, kind of focus on Olympic Games. And then afterwards, like seeing the first release, seeing the clothes. At the time, it was like, wow, you know, people are actually buying it. It's crazy. But then I look at the clothes now, and I'm like, that's terrible clothing. But at the same time, I'm also like, you know what? Like, I'm wearing, this is from the first one. I'm like, I really like this. But I think because we've created the joggers and the hoodie, it's like the standard of that particular drop was so, like, in my eyes, was so much better. Even though our previous drop wasn't terrible, it just made it seem like it. It's exciting. It is really exciting.
Yeah, and that's progress, right? Like, I guess that's the way it should be. It should be better in 2 years' time, 5 years' time, or whatever. But it's just great that you're doing that, mate. And wish you all the best this weekend. I'm excited to watch your gymnastics live, and thanks for chatting to us, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Top man, buddy. Thank you.